Wow, hey guys, where have you been? Okay, it's been 3 weeks or even 4 weeks since the last video, I get it. But hear me out. I was busy, okay? No, that's not all. I was almost done with another video, but I just didn't end up liking the idea, and it was all based around one footage that I saw on Instagram, but I couldn't find that footage, so I just decided to crap out the idea and skip it. But the good news is that we have a video today. So let's just get on with it. So over the last 2 months or so, I've been shopping around for any opportunity or any vehicle, to be specific, a car, a motorcycle that's cheap enough that I can buy, fix up, and sell to make some money. And I did find a couple of things over the time, and unfortunately I don't have their ads saved, but what I ended up with is this. Why is the screen? Okay, hold on. Now it's better. Okay. So obviously this is a 2008 328i, $1,300, 170,000 miles, and this is the cheapest I've seen them go for. Obviously this one is not running, but it had this stuff done to it recently, so that's a good, I guess, start. Now, of course, the car didn't run, right? And I did not know why it was not running yet. So I ended up having the tow truck driver help me push it into my backyard. And from there, I mean, that in itself was a challenge because it was grass, mud, no traction. 4 legs are better than 2 legs to push the car, I get it. But it was still very difficult to do. Even had to change my sandals for shoes to get some traction. And after that, we managed to push it all the way in there, and then he left me alone. So I had to figure out a way to push this car by myself onto the concrete pad. Why? That's where the car is supposed to go, I guess, and so I can maybe look underneath the car if I need to work on the car easier, no bugs. It didn't take me that long to realize that I need more than my limited human power to get this task done. And for that, I asked help from my other car. So after attempt 7.5, maybe out of 500 total attempts of pulling the car and pushing the car, I ended up just coming very close to the wall, and I actually just did hit the wall a little bit. I couldn't brake, so whatever. It's not that bad. I think it's just paint damage and it will buff out, but we'll see. But it did start raining crazy, so I was in a rush and I had to get this done quickly. But in the end, what mattered was the car was on the concrete pad and it was home, and I could start looking into it, working on it, and I couldn't wait for the next day. Well, okay guys, so here is the car, and this is actually the first time I'm looking at it, and all I did so far was obviously the batteries here. I did look in the trunk. Obviously there's all these parts, but what I did was I put the battery on charge and I left it disconnected, so I haven't connected it yet after I charged it, but it should be charged now. But let's go around the car and see what condition it's in. So I know the tires are low because it was a pain in the ass to push it. And yeah, did leave the wipers on when I was trying it at the house where I bought it from. And as far as the interior, it does look pretty nice. The seats are in good condition. The leather, but no cracks or anything in the dash. I don't know if these cars have that common. This little storage compartment here, it's nice. Shifter is nice, leather and all of that trim. Let's see, what is there anything in the center console? Nope, nothing. Okay. The glove box sort of opens normally, and what is that? It's just a relay diagram. Okay, or fuse diagram. All right. This was interesting. Keys goes in here. It's a BMW, and this is similar to most German cars or even GM cars. This is where the OBD connector goes. And let's pop the hood and see what's condition the engine is in. But yeah, it has a sunroof. Oh, and one last thing about the interior. I did notice that it has this leaky sunroof issue. It's very common with these. Also, the headliner is pretty dirty. It's in good shape, it's just dirty, so I need to clean it somehow. This piece is missing or broken, I don't know yet, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, the headlights are pretty sun damaged, but I think those can still be restored, or maybe I'll just get some LED ones and replace those. The grill's in good shape, bumper's in good shape, except for my little accident here while I was moving it, so hopefully that can just be cleaned out. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Okay, so it looks like the engine is it looks complete. We did notice that other valve cover in the trunk, so at some point there might have been like an oil leak or someone is replacing. These are plastic, so usually people just don't replace the gasket, they replace the whole valve cover with the gasket. Ouch. Oh wait, I don't know how this opens yet. Okay, so it's just a normal cap. Wow, looks pretty crusty in there. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, alright, we can see in there that it's not the cleanest. But oh well, it's a 170,000 mile car. That's expected. I think this is for, so some people think this is for charging the battery, some people think this is for jumping the car. But anyways, whatever that is. And this is for the coolant. Do we have any coolant in there? Okay. There's a little bit of water in there. So I did try to crank it when I bought it, but it just kept cranking with no firing up. But the owner, according to the previous owner, they did say that the oil pan had some service done where the oil pan was removed and for a big oil leak. And okay, that plug is also interesting, that's kind of broken. But yeah, after they fixed the oil leak, the car ran for like 1,000 miles and then it just stopped. It never fired up again after 1,000 miles of running. So don't know what the issue might be, but I have a guess because this area is pretty dirty. So it's just a very far guess probably, but I think what happened was the oil leak might have gotten on one of the wires or sensors and caused the car to not fire up eventually. But I think we can have a good start with this, and since I charged the battery, I'll go get my OBD scanner, plug it into the car, and we'll try to fire up the car and see if any codes pop up. So we have our OBD2 connector here. I'm not going to go through the process of reading the codes. I have a video about that actually. It's in Arabic, but there are multiple English videos out there about that too, so that should be fine if you're trying to figure out how to do that. But yeah, so here's my negative lead. I'm going to connect it. Okay, so some sparks. Foot on the brake. And she just keeps cranking. Nothing happens. Let's get those codes and see why. Actually, let's try it again. Okay, so just cranking, no firing, as expected. Let's get the codes and see what the car is trying to tell us. Plug in my OBD2, and of course the app is on my phone, which I'm using to record, so I'll be right back with the codes. Now there's two codes that came up when I did the scan, and the second one is a historic fault, which means that the code might have been erased at some point, or it might have been actually fixed, and it's now just a historic fault. P240A powertrain, that's basically an evap system code, meaning there is a leak in the evap system. It's supposed to be sealed, so it might be like a loose gas cap or an old gas cap, it could be a lot of things. The first one is the crank cam position correlation. From reading about it, that is crank sensor and the cam sensors are not in sync, or they're having readings that are opposing each other. So either one of the sensors is bad or they're not connected properly. It could be also a lot of things, but it has to do with those three sensors: 2 cam sensors, 1 crank sensor. Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to edit this video, but I can't come up with a good stopping point to end the first video because right after we just read the codes, as you guys just saw, it sounds like it's going to be an easy fix, yet it's not so easy. And then like it looks like it's going to be easy eventually, but it's not really easy. So I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but there is a lot that's going to happen, and I'm going to share almost all the tries that I did to fix it and what actually ended up happening in the next video. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. You'll find out. I'll leave you with this bonus clip, and we'll see you guys later. Peace. I remember, this door doesn't work.